Courage is typically associated with doing something someone is afraid of, but it can also apply to situations like going out of a comfort zone or doing the right thing. An act of courage could be almost anything if it is done in the right circumstances. For an act to be considered courageous, it must meet all of the following criteria. A person must go outside his comfort zone. A person must also continue with an action despite processing and understanding the risks involved. To be courageous, a person must also accept help and not be reckless, act in accordance with good morals, and act for the benefit of others, not just for oneself. There must also be a choice of whether or not to act for an action to be considered courageous. Many people want to be courageous, but unless their actions meet all of these criteria, they will not be considered courageous. In the book Blood Brothers by Elias Shakur, Elias organizes a march in Jerusalem to demonstrate peace between Palestinians and Israelis. His actions are very courageous. When he does the march, Elias goes out of his comfort zone. Before the march starts, Elias is so nervous that his knees are shaking. He was also not expecting to be the leader of the march, but Bishop Rea surprised him by requesting that Elias lead. Elias also follows through with the march despite the risks. He understands that the march may not be welcome in the city and that there may be retaliations against it. Even Bishop Rea says, this kind of intercession always involves a risk. When doing the march, Elias accepts the help of Bishop Rea and all of the other marchers. He is not reckless while he does the march, but rather marches and demonstrates peacefully. The reason Elias marches is to promote peace between Palestinians and Israelis. This is a noble and moral cause, and therefore Elias's actions are morally sound. Elias's march benefits others as well. The march not only gives Palestinians hope, but in the words of Bishop Rea, the Jewish people need the hope of peace too. It's time to march in Jerusalem and give our Jewish brothers the chance to walk by our side. It gives the Jews hope as well. Finally, Elias chooses to go through with the march even though he could have chosen not to go. Bishop Rea requests that Elias lead the march, and Elias could have refused. Instead, he faced the opposition and risks and led the march anyway. Elias's actions satisfy all of the criteria for a courageous act.